He is said to direct the motions of the heavenly bodies. Without his words, the Egyptians believed the gods would not exist. His power was unlimited in the underworld and rivaled that of Ra and Osiris. Now, I'm also going to mention this about the underworld. The Egyptians' idea of heaven wasn't the same as what the Christians were, or the Jews, or any of these people who believed. The underworld was actually the equivalence of what heaven was to them, and it's really strange. It'll explain it as I read on, and I'll let the words just come out of the writing rather than try to explain it myself. But just understand that the whole concept wasn't the same. It's just like we call the sky today the sky, but back in those days it was referred to as the firmament. Just different concepts. Okay. The Egyptians credited him as the author of all works of science, religion, philosophy, and magic. The Greeks further declared him the inventor of astronomy, astrology, the science of numbers, mathematics, geometry, land surveying, medicine, botany, theology, civilized government, the alphabet, reading, writing, and oratory. They further claim he was the true author of every work of every branch of knowledge, human and divine. Now, for me, I agree with a lot of that except for civilized government. Now, if you go according to what Sitchin translated in his Sumerian texts, then Enki would fit the profile of Thoth if Marduk was Ra. But civilized government would actually be Enlil. It wouldn't be Enki. That's where I really split terms. But the rest of it, yeah. I mean, mathematics, geometry, theology. Well, theology might be Enlil as well. The alphabet, reading, writing, and oratory. All of that would be Enki, but Enlil would be theology and civilized government. Thoth has, and forgive me for saying Thoth if it annoys you guys, but I'm not really good with saying Toth. If I see Thoth, I say Thoth. Thoth has played a prominent role in many of the Egyptian myths, displaying his role as arbitrator. He has overseen the 3 epic battles between good and evil. All 3 battles were fundamentally the same and belonged to different periods. The first battle took place between Ra and Apophis, the second between Haru, Bakhutet, and Set, and the third between Horus, the son of Osiris, and Set. In each instance, the former god represented order, while the latter represented chaos. If one god was seriously injured, Thoth would heal him to prevent either from overtaking the other. Thoth was also prominent in the Osiris myth, being of great aid to Isis. After Isis gathered together the pieces of Osiris's dismembered body, he gave her the words to resurrect him so she could be impregnated and bring forth Horus. When Horus was slain, Thoth gave the magic to resurrect him as well. Thoth was the god who always speaks the words that fulfill the wishes of Ra. The mythology also credits him with the creation of the 365-day calendar. Originally, according to the myth, The year was 360 days long, and Nut was sterile during these days, unable to bear children. Thoth gambled with the moon for 1 second, 70 second, and its light, which is 360 into 72 equals 5, or 5 days, and one during these 5 days. Nut gave birth to Keru, Horus the Elder, face of heaven, Osiris, Set, Isis, and Nephilis. Okay, so now, when I also mentioned Thoth, I'd also like to talk about him being the mediator and how good and evil, he makes it to where good and evil don't defeat one another. The one thing that I did notice about even not only with Sitchin's interpretation of the Sumerian text, but a couple of other theologians and archaeologists who, even though they're religious, they do interpret, these texts. And from what I get from them is, for me, my idea of the Sumerians are they really don't distinguish between good and evil. I don't know if they understand it or not. I made the comment on leaked on YouTube about that, and I don't see them actually even comprehending good and evil. It's just like with the gods, their belief of the gods is different than the belief in, the Jewish God or the Muslim and Christian God, where those gods, or that God, doesn't depend on humans, where the Sumerian gods, they depended on human sacrifices for basically like food. And I kind of get that a little bit too in the Greek mythology. I don't know too much about Egyptian gods to really know if that is a part of their beliefs or not, but that's the difference I noticed there. And then also with like understanding the concept of good and evil, because even though a lot of people say that Enki was evil, the Sumerians never indicated that he was evil. I mean, the only thing that he basically did was give humans, consciousness and created them. And after that, he warned them of the flood that was ready to come. So, I mean, in that aspect maybe, but that really doesn't make him evil, So, with me, that stood out to me when it was talking about him not allowing good to overtake evil and evil to overtake good. That's kind of a different concept, which incorporates a little bit of Enki and Enlil. So, if that's pro or con, saying that Enki and Enlil is a part of the Thoth mythology and the Ra mythology with Marduk, but I picked up on that. I wanted to mention it. Okay. He was originally the deification of the moon in the Ogdo belief system. Initially, in that system, the moon had been seen to be the eye of Horus, the sky god, which had been semi-blinded, thus darker, in a fight against Set, the other eye being the sun. However, over time it began to be considered separately, becoming a lunar deity in its own right, and was said to have been another son of Ra, as the crescent moon strongly resembles the curved break of the abyss. This separate deity was named Djehuti, which is the capital Djehuty, which is Thoth, meaning ibis, ibis, IBIS. The moon not only provides light at night, allowing the time to still be measured without the sun, but it phases the prominence gave it no. But its phases and prominence gave it a significant importance in early astrology and astronomy. The cycle of the moon also organized much of Egyptian society's civil and religious rituals and events. Consequently, Thoth gradually became seen as a god of wisdom, magic, and the measurement and regulation of events and of time. He was thus said to be the secretary and counselor of Ra, and with Ma'at, which is truth and order, stood next to Ra on the nightly voyage across the sky, Ra being the sun god. Thoth became credited by the ancient Egyptians as the inventor of writing, and was also considered to have been the scribe of the underworld, and the moon became occasionally considered a separate entity, now that Thoth had less association with it and more with wisdom. For this reason, Thoth was universally worshipped by ancient Egyptian scribes. Many scribes had a painting or a picture of Thoth in their office. Likewise, one of the symbols for scribes was that of the ibis, or abyss, whichever way it's pronounced. In art, Thoth was usually depicted with the head of an ibis deriving from his name, and the curve of his ibis beak, which resembled the crescent moon. Sometimes he was depicted as a baboon holding up a crescent moon, as the baboon was seen as a nocturnal and intelligent creature. The association with baboons led to him occasionally being said to have as a consort Ashtinu, one of the male baboons at the place of judgment in the underworld, and on other occasions Ashtinu was said to be Thoth himself. During the late period of Egyptian history, a cult of Thoth gained prominence due to its main center, Khnum, Hermopolis Magna, also becoming the capital, and millions of dead ibises were mummified and buried in his honor. The rise of his cult also led to his cult seeking to adjust mythology to give Thoth a greater role. Thoth was inserted in many tales as the wise counsel and persuader, and his association with learning and measurement led him to